Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Pillar to Post. Your host, myself, Pete Wall. Now, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that thumbs up if you are viewing this, and don't forget to hit that bell for notifications for all your new video downloads or live play. Now, as you can see on the screen, this is not your usual thing that I usually do, but you know when there is a new book released, either by myself or CPOP Productions, I like to do a little video on it, little endorsement, little push, and give you my thoughts on it. Now, I have not read the book just yet because I'm waiting for it tonight so I can get comfortable and just kick back, chill out, and do some reading. Now, these are, for the most part, horror stories, thrillers, you name it, it's in there for you. You like a little bit of blood, like a little bit of gore. Corrogatio V, The Fifth Awakening, is the book for you. You got a lot of stories in this one, a lot of great authors, a lot of great writers. You definitely want to check it out. Excuse me. I'm going to give you the list of the stories that are involved. These are short stories and very well done. We're going to start off with The Visitor, written by none other than new icon. Friends know him as Mark Malero. He is the man behind the entire Corrogatio franchise. Following his story is Falling into the Darkness by Craig Coranda. There we go. We're going to follow that up with Thank You, Mr. President by none other than Darren DeToni. And then we've got A Brother's Tale Part 1 by Jason Doak. The Midwife by S.C. Jensen. We Are the Second Race by yours truly, Pete Wall. The Black Frontier by John Michael Lowe. Dinner Guest by Chris Reynolds. Becoming Curious by S.C. Jensen. And Arisen, a special Corrogatio V gallery, is at the end. So I'm going to read a little bit of The Visitor for you. This is my first time reading it, and I love the stories by new icon as well as the other authors here. I don't think I've ever read any of the Corrogatio books that I disliked. And like I said, this is a collaboration of short stories thrown together, and it comes out once a year, every Halloween. I know Halloween's passed already, but, you know, the book is out there. It is available. Like I said, this is The Visitor, written by new icon. Mother of God, you're beautiful, whispered Captain Jeremy Tolbert. His final words left his lips as he was lifted high in the air. His body split, slowly spreading into two, a shower of internal organs and blood sprouting from the now lifeless body. Tolbert's entire team lay strewn around the area, each of them dead, torn to shreds, and left in heaping piles of gore. With Tolbert's demise, the many parts of his body heaved in various directions. The thing responsible for him and his team's deaths quickly scurried into the black of night. Through the woods, while above, the stars burned bright, and the moon's glow cast its warm light on the surface below. That is the beginning of the story. And I'm not sure where it's going from here, but I do know it is a nice opening, and it really sets the tone. And what follows looks like it is going to be the setup for this part right here. So, let's continue. Damn it, shouted Scarlet. Just my fucking luck. Scarlet had just left work, and once out the front door to the rowdy Tigress's strip club, she dropped her lighter and cigarette into a puddle. Still raining, she sighed. It was drizzling lightly, but the wind had just begun to pick up. She bent down to grab the cigarette and lighter when she heard a loud crackle in the sky above. She was confused when she saw no lightning, but then saw a bright red and orange streak overhead. It flew above her and continued into the distance, a loud crash following as soon as it was out of sight. Jesus! What the fuck was that? She shouted, confused. Several men walked out from the strip club, stumbling out and talking wildly. Other nearby businesses, patrons, and employees began streaming out into the street, all confused and talking about what they had seen or what had just happened. The street was filled with excitement, confusion, and worry. Scarlett left the cigarette lighter on the floor and began walking through the crowd of people, staring into the distance where the streak had traveled. It didn't take long before the mob of people began shouting and running back onto the sidewalks in confusion. 4 large trucks and a van, all with Department of Defense insignia, rolled through the streets, stopping for no one. Several people shouted as they jumped out of the way, almost struck by the quickly moving convoy. Scarlett quickly stared at the vehicles and made her way through more of the crowd, hoping to catch a glimpse of what was going on. "Scarlett! Hey, Scarlett!" shouted a voice from the distance behind Scarlett. It was a regular from the strip club. His name was Walter. "Scarlett, are you trying to get a look too?" "Yeah." "Any idea what that was?" She and Walter came face to face. That was crazy. "I know. I was buried in booze before everything went kablam. You know, I had to check my pulse to make sure I was still alive." Scarlett rolled her eyes. Yeah, Walt. "Do you think we can follow those trucks?" "Hell yeah, babe," Walter replied. "Follow me to my truck." Scarlett rolled her eyes again, shrugged, then followed Walter back into the club's parking lot. That is the opening to this story. Like I said, I haven't read any of these stories of previous Corrogatio books that I have disliked or found boring. They're all pretty intense, especially when the action starts rolling out, and I can't wait to continue reading. Now, New Icon in last year's edition of Corrogatio 4 wrote a tale titled The Prowler. My, at that time, 15-year-old daughter read it. She read the entire book and loved it and was so excited and was waiting for, more to it. From what I can understand, this is kind of a follow-up to that story, if I read correctly. And let me see, let me go back. And so she'll be excited to read it. I will be ordering the paperback from LULU. A nice little introduction here to the book as well from New Icon. And it starts off with, "The awakening is upon us." And it's basically a personal message from the man behind Corrogatio, New Icon, to the readers as well as those that have taken part in it. And I'd like to read that out there for you because I've always felt honored to be a part of Corrogatio as well as being able to write for CPOP and Monolith. And hell, let's give this a read. Excuse me. Starts off with by saying, "I often dreamed of a platform, one that would encourage the worlds of Crush Pop Productions and the many exciting stories that could be found within those worlds. The Monolith was born out of a love of fiction and a passion for providing authors with a platform to present the world their talent. I am so very proud of where we have come and have arrived at this, the 5th year of Corrogatio. Born out of nothing more than a silly dream, the Monolith has produced countless hours of an entertainment that many of you have come back to us for time and time again. This is who we are, and I couldn't be prouder of what we have for you this year. From previews of some of our most popular ongoing fiction to tales of terror written by some of the Monolith's best and brightest, this year's edition of Corrogatio has something for everyone, including a very special follow-up to New Icon's piece from last year, The Prowler. This time, a visitor from parts unknown has crash-landed on planet Earth and is hungry. Very, very hungry. Before I continue, I must congratulate some of Monolith's best for the success their work has found within our halls. Pete Wall and John Michael Lowe, yes, Pete Wall, me, are amongst the first authors to join the Monolith and produce unique fiction, a venture I only dreamed could come true. Aside from these two amazing authors, the Monolith's most prestigious series still continues to soar in Chris Reynolds' Chinatown, and if you haven't, trust me, it's a must-read. With 2020 on the horizon, I look to these and future authors to bring the Monolith to the forefront of the CPOP brand and hope to showcase even more incredible work. I thank all of them for all the hard work they continue to produce for CPOP, the Monolith, and all of you, our loyal cultists, whom I must also thank, because if it weren't for said loyalty, we would be dust. Back in 2008, when I was a simple guy creating fan-based games and fiction, I would never had thought that we would be here where we are now. All these years later, in 2012, I had lost a lot of precious files and work to the point where I was close to quitting on a newly established CPOP. But many of you came to my rescue, telling me that if this passion was as important as I made it seem, then it wasn't worth giving up on, and I didn't. I continued forward and pushed until everything was back in my embrace. Grom, Toxic Holocaust, and other projects resurfaced with new life, new vision, and CPOP was quickly gaining ground again, and now we sit here, the Monolith at our side, and CPOP with its continued success, all of which can be attributed to each and every one of you. We talk about the readers here, the fans. I couldn't be more thankful, and for each of you, I give the highest praise. Please enjoy this year's Corrogatio. I couldn't be prouder of this volume and hope you continue to come back to the Monolith for your fiction. This time has come, or I should say the time has come. It's time to gather your fellow cultists, to dim the lights, burn the incense, and light your candles. Prepare for the chant as we welcome you another year and another volume of Monolith's most popular reading experience in Corrogatio V, The Fifth Awakening. Infernally and forever yours, New Icon, owner, founder of Crush Pop Productions and the Monolith. I'm going to tell you right now, like I said, feel very honored reading those words by New Icon / Mark Malero. The guy's not just a good friend, he is a great writer. He knows how to put the suspense there in his stories, as well as the other authors here in Monolith / CPOP. You want to get yours, like I said, I'm going to provide the links for this free downloadable book from CPOP Productions in the description below, as well as how to get your very own paperback. The link to Lulu and the drive-through link as well. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. I want to encourage you all to go get a copy of this book. You're going to enjoy the stories within, and you're going to come back for more. So thank you very much. Have a great evening. Dim the lights. Begin the chant. Corrogatio V, The Fifth Awakening, is upon you. I'm out of here.